But I'm going to start the show with perhaps my hottest take to date. And last Wednesday's show, we were recording it right when we started. The Time magazine top 100 influential podcast list had just come out. I looked at it, I saw it, I was like, that's crazy that like part of my take's not on there, spitting chicklets. And there was a little voice in the back of my head going, say KFC radio. And then another voice going, don't say that, they'll laugh at you. And I've spent the last 5 days thinking about it. I think if we're having an honest discussion about, and I don't think like Time left us off, because I don't think it's like stuff that's talked about. I think we're having an honest discussion about the top 100 podcasts, influential,
okay,
not successful. That probably part of the reason I didn't say it is reckoning with that we didn't really keep pace. But like 100 influential, I think KFC radio belongs on it, and I've thought about it for 5 days.
Okay,
and I want you guys to like red team me. If you don't believe in what I'm saying, fucking question me.
Okay.
1, Dan Katz's first podcast. I think that alone, honestly, God, I think that alone, I think Dan is so important to the world of podcasting that being his first podcast alone gets you in the top 100.
Yeah.
So I think part of my take's top 5. So I think that's probably top 100. However, on top of that, I think it was Dave's introduction to podcasting. I believe I remember hearing the story that Dave emailed Kevin like, hey, this is a really good idea or something like that.
Yeah.
So Dan, Dave, it is, as far as I know, it is the founding member of the Barstool Sports Podcast Network, which, again, as far as I know, was at one time the biggest in the world, or at least one of the biggest in the world. 4, we were doing live shows during the Obama administration. That's a fucking long time ago.
Yo, so was that when you were doing live shows? Was that like a thing that people...
all of this, too, I want to be clear about another thing, is I don't know podcast history.
Wait, you're actually... Again, I don't know podcast history either. I'm already sold, and I shouldn't like. I'll like keep giving me your arguments, but I feel like you're making some good points. Right now.
I feel like I'm making good points, right? Good points. So wait,
do you guys feel like? Yeah.
Where did I leave off? What was that? Oh, live shows.
That's really how fast.
And like not like we were doing live sold out shows at the Wilbur, 2 shows a night. I think November. You can check on that. I think it was November 2016, which I believe Obama was still in office. Then Saturdays for the Boys, I feel like we get credit for that, right?
Yeah.
That I don't know that started things, but like it certainly was at the front of 6 or 7 years where everyone was trying to turn a mildly interesting quote into a merch line.
Yeah.
like we had probably 6-7 years straight of that.
And it put Barstool, I feel like, on the map.
I think it was a pretty big thing for but we're just talking podcasting right now.
Yeah, but it put Barstool, the podcast company, on the map, which like.
No, I think part of my take did that.
Okay.
I think Saturdays for the Boys was more just merch stuff, but part of my take was already big by then.
But like giving Barstool the platform, like Saturdays for the Boys, blew up. Therefore, ergo, Barstool blew up.
Yeah.
Therefore, all the brands blew up. Of course, like, Pardon My Take had its own success, but Saturdays for the Boys is you.
I would imagine, I wasn't involved in the meetings, but I would certainly think it changed the way we approached merch. Yeah. At least it looks like that, tracing back through history. It looks like it changed the way. It looks like it, at least Barstool, and I think podcasts as a whole, went like, we got to have merch lines for everybody.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if that was the first one, but it was certainly towards the early stages of it, which I think is what influences. And then lastly, if you ask the biggest comedians in the world what the most important podcasts to them were, they'll say Rogan and KFC Radio. And I can only say that confidently because I've heard Shane, Burt, and DeStefano say it. Mm-hmm. I would guess Schultz and Barkatzi would say something similar. There are probably others that I'm missing. But I think we were at the front of what then became like a 5 to 7 year comedy boom in the world.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty. Am I crazy? I think those things get you in an honest conversation about the top 100 influential. Right?
Yeah. Well, I actually like totally agree. I'm not even trying to like. I was hoping to kind of be like, no, like you're.
I was hoping people would be like, no,
too.
Who would be like? Is there people here who would be like, no? Like, would Gaz know?
Well, I think you're right on this. Like The key word is influential.
Oh, wait, I forgot another one.
Go.
Answer the Internet.
Yeah.
Answer the Internet was a half-hour show of the funniest people in the world doing dumb hypotheticals. And again, I'm not saying like people saw that and were immediately like, we got to replicate that. But we did that like 6 years ago. Now I can't turn a corner in Barstool without someone on the social team holding the phone up and going, who eats hot dogs faster or whatever, right? Like they're all things that we did a long time ago. So again, I think, I'm not saying we I'm not pounding my chest being like, it was us. But if we're talking about what influence is, and we were on the forefront of a lot of that, I would think that's influence, right?